like DNA testing at birth to me is like, you are telling your wife, I think you've been cheating on me.
I have been wondering for a long time whether they're mine or not.
Why is it bad or frowned upon when a man says, I'd like to ensure that that child is mine?
You don't know who else you're sleeping with to want to know if their kid's really his.
DNA testing mandatory is stupid.
In front of the house?
Bye.
In front of the house.
0.9% not compatible. So you got pregnant around the time you were with me.
It's to no surprise whatsoever. A lot of them are saying that they would divorce their husband immediately.
Hey guys, welcome back to More Life. Now before we get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this.
DNA testing at birth.
Mandatory.
Mandatory DNA testing at birth. I don't agree with that.
Check that baby. No. Like what? Check that baby. I don't care what nobody say. Check that baby. You never know. You never know.
But what I feel like DNA testing at birth to me is like, no matter how you spin it, no matter how you try to dress it up, you are telling your wife, I think you've been cheating on me.
And there are examples where guys raise kids that aren't theirs. Like, it's like, I can understand if it's never happened or if it's not a thing, but that's a thing that happens. People take breaks, raise kids. What was that one story about the dude that like raised the kid like after they took a break and then found out that the kid wasn't his? It happened while they were on a break, and you know what I mean? Like, that's,
I mean, okay, during a break, I feel like I can understand that justification, but it's like, we've been together, we've been rocking together, it's been 8 years, no break, been solid.
No.
You ain't never thought I cheated on you.
You never know.
You once.
No.
If I have a baby, I carried this baby for 9 months. I just pushed out a 8-pound human.
that could not be mine. You pushed out an 8-pound human.
Listen.
No, he shouldn't have to ask it because you should be doing it. Because there are guys, watch this next video and you'll see exactly why everybody, I mean everybody, needs a DNA test.
Mr. Willis, what brings you in the courtroom today?
I have been wondering for a long time about whether these children, we have 3 children, whether they're mine or not. They're all so ugly, and they don't look like me. I'm a real handsome dude, and these kids look like they come right off the street.
Okay, Mrs. Willis.
Yes.
I mean, y'all have been together for a long time. What is your take on
We've
it?
been together for over 50 years.
Wow.
They've been together for over 50 years. Now watch this.
Wow, 50 years. And you sitting in front of me today.
And I married a man. I mean, is he anything to look at?
I mean, he must be. You've been with him long enough now.
Well, I
Miss
married
Willis.
him for his personality, not his looks.
Ooh, well, some personality here.
And he says my kids aren't good looking. Well, ugly men make ugly children, honey. These are your kids. I mean, you think just because you traveled so damn much that I was fooling around? Hell, I was home with the kids.
Well, when I came home, you were kind of messed up a couple times.
What does that mean, messed up?
Well, you know. And then once I came home,
I had my period. I mean, come on.
What? Wait a minute.
You think you just walk in the house
Wait,
and nookie?
Okay, you gotta watch what you say in my courtroom now,
I
Mrs.
said I
Willis.
had my period. What's wrong
I
with
know.
saying that?
I need order. I need order in my court.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, everybody is speaking out of turn. Everything is going every which way now. I need some order in here.
I'm sorry.
well, you know, one time I came home and I pulled in the front driveway and I saw this car down the street take off because somebody came out the back door.
It was the repairman. I told you the washing machine was broken.
You told me it was the postman.
No, that was the other time.
See, it seems like a joke because people in the back laughing, but he went through that all these years. His calm, demeanor, and he let it go and stayed with her. Men are staying with these women. See, you wouldn't know. You would think, oh, sweet old lady, sweet old lady. Watch this.
Mrs. Willis. I mean, so do he have any, is it any doubt in your mind that these kids, all three of them, not one, not two, but all three of them is not his?
They're his kids. I mean.
All right, Mr. Willis. Now, do you hope these kids are yours?
Yeah. I mean, even though they're ugly, because if they weren't mine, I would have just been pissing my money away all these years taking care of those little brats.
Oh, okay.
That's, you know, I don't get this, because if I was going to fool around while you were gone, don't you think I would have picked some good-looking men that look better than you do?
No.
Okay, all right. Who brought y'all here today? What brought y'all here?
Well, he did. He watches this crap on TV. He said, I want to go to one of those courtrooms and prove that these brats aren't mine. I don't think.
No. Something hit him deep down in his soul. And he said, that's not my kids. That's what happened. Maybe a friend, but something hit him deep down in his core.
I think they're brats. I think they're wonderful kids. And I don't think they're ugly.
So
But-
Well, you know, I've seen all these great results, and I want to prove it because if they aren't mine, I've had it.
You had.
What
So
do you mean
you
you
doing?
had
You
it?
prepared?
Wait a minute. We've been together over 50 years, and you're going to walk out the door. Look, you won't even look at me.
I got a nice young lady waiting out there.
Oh.
Man, oh man.
Wait. So you prepare? So you telling me after 50 years you gonna walk with this young lady you claim you
Yes,
got
she will.
waiting in the bushes somewhere, but you talked about her with the milkman and the plumber and everybody else. but you
Because she
got this
probably
young
was.
thing waiting
Yep.
on you.
Thank you, Your
Yep.
Honor.
We need some.
Sure.
We gonna have to get down to the bottom
I
of this, and I mean fast at this
I
point.
got to cover myself.
Cover yourself.
Oh.
Seemed like you should have been covering back then and not right now.
You know, if you'd stayed home, you wouldn't have this question in your mind.
I had too much fun not staying home.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? I'm not finna keep going back and forth. I'm finna go ahead and get down to these results. All right, guys, I got these results in my hand. Is there any final words that you wanna get out before I read these results?
I don't know why we're here. We've been together all this time. You traveled a lot. You think I was fooling around. I think you were probably fooling around when you were on the road.
That's
I
not
bet
true.
there's some ugly
If
kids
these
out there
kids,
that belong
I
to
don't want
you.
these kids around me if they're not mine.
Honey, you've raised them.
Well, yeah.
Don't you love them?
They're,
I mean, you call them ugly. This is just,
they get in my way.
Oh,
this is just wrong. This is just
well,
wrong.
you know what? I didn't have a time in here with you guys today, and I'm gonna go ahead and get y'all out my hair.
Yeah, tell
So-
them. They're my kids. I mean, they're your kids.
All right. The results reads as follow. First, child, Mr. Willis, you are not the father.
That's what I figured.
No.
Not his kids.
Willis.
That's
50
wrong.
years.
That's wrong.
Second,
Not his
child,
kids.
That's
Second
gotta
child.
be, it's a mistake.
Mr. Willis, you are not
You
the
are
father.
not
You
the
are reading
father.
someone else's file. This
So
can't be true.
I have a mailman and a plumber.
He said it. He said it.
Oh my God! Oh, wait! No, hey!
I'm sorry.
Words.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I just
Child 3,
Oh.
Mr. Willis.
I
I
sweet old
pray
lady.
and I hope,
please.
but you are not.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
He's not. Now, that sweet old lady voice will get you every time. It will. I'm the sweet old lady. I wouldn't hurt a fly. You're a dirty, rotten scoundrel.
Hey!
I'm sorry.
Words.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I just
Child 3, Mr. Willis. I pray and I hope,
please.
but you are not the father. Oh my God!
Honey, I love you. Don't leave me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know if it felt like a skit to me, but yeah, guys need to beware.
Ex-Chelsea star Jeremy, old.
What do you call him?
What do you call it? Divorces his wife after discovering discovering her ex fathered the twins. So, give you more context, yeah? I'll explain it just in layman terms.
Yeah.
They've been going out for years. Well, not going out, but married for years. And then they found out through a DNA test later down the line that the twins that he's been raising for I don't know how many years of his life are not his kids. Now, the conversation that's had in the topics, in the rooms, is that should now at birth, what do you call it? DNA test be mandatory for both. Well, obviously more for the father.
At birth. That's crazy, you know.
Exactly.
That's
Is that
vital to the woman?
I know, but not like him asking for it, but be mandatory.
That's so crazy, yo.
It's mad though, innit? I was like, this is juicy.
Imagine the feeling that you'd get though, bro. Like you're taking care of your girl.
Yeah,
for 9
exactly.
months.
Because now he's
pops out and then it's like,
you know what? Yes, it should be.
Yeah,
it should just be there.
Yeah, I think it should be there. No one talked about it. Yeah,
just there.
Because I think going through that, I shouldn't have to ask for it as a man, but I think it should just be there naturally.
I should be allowed to sue you.
Sue you?
Yeah, bro. I've been raising kids that aren't mine.
Yeah.
I've been lied to, bro. How old are the kids? How old are the kids?
I don't know.
Twins?
I don't know.
All right, cool. Let's say this.
Twins,
Let's say this. You're with your miss.
Yeah, but what's going on with that new law? You will be able to sue.
How do you feel about a DNA test being mandatory for all dads? Ooh. And his story was he took care of a child for a substantial amount of time and later on ended up finding out that that child was not his. So he had to pay child support for this child. Of course, he had a very close relationship with this child. However, the mother of the child did not have to repay back any of that child support. So he's the one that's going through the emotional damage. He's the one that's damaged. And of course, the child is damaged.
Say, do you think DNA testing should be mandatory for all men? Absolutely. But I'm going to ask you what you think. All right.
The DNA test results show that Mr. Smith, you are not Monica's father.
Ladies, would you be okay with a DNA test being a requirement as soon as you gave birth to your child? Meaning they would test the child and then test the father right there at that moment before a birth certificate is signed. Quick scenery change. So my thing is this. Why would anyone be opposed to that as part of the normal routine of giving birth? Right? Because we're all making this drastic assumption that we know for sure that that child belongs to the man that may be present or not in the room. And there are a lot of things that can happen. You know, birth certificates can get easily signed without a lot of proper identification. Anybody's name can be put on there if they agree. And in some states, if you are married, you are the presumed father, okay, of that child if it comes out of your wife with no DNA test. It's just the law until you go to court and prove otherwise or request a DNA test. So I know, you know, women want a lot of, you know, reassurances and things like that from men in many different forms, right? They want to make sure that they have marriage licenses and they want to make sure that, you know, they have access to assets, money, bank accounts. But I'm just wondering, why is it bad or frowned upon when a man says, I'd like to ensure that that child is mine because I have no other way of knowing other than maybe it looks like me. In some countries, there is a good chance, like a 25% chance that that baby doesn't belong to the father. Right? In some countries where polygamy and open relationship lifestyles are very prominent, how do you know? What do you guys think? Oh, wait. So another thing to consider, too, is like the financial impact, right? So when you sign up as the father, you are signing up to be financially bound to that child, right? Whether you're married or not. So your name being on that birth certificate bounds you to financially supporting that child. Child support, all the legalities and all the rights that you would have to that baby. And I know people may say, well, what does it matter? Because if you love the child and you love the woman, who cares? Because if it's not your bloodline, you should know that. Finally. And the man who actually impregnated the woman should be responsible for financially supporting that child. Unless you deem otherwise. Unless everybody's in agreement, that's what you guys decided to do. More power to you. But for cases where men are manipulated and lied to,
people are pushing for it to be mandatory, but forget about it being mandatory. How I see it is every guy should suggest it. They have so many different ways to test and make sure if you are or not the father. You have to demand it. Men have to start demanding these things. You're sleeping with a woman, and women are doing what? Talking to so many guys. They're saying, oh, I keep a roster. I keep one guy, I keep two guys, I keep three guys. They're talking to 4 or 5 guys at the same time and probably sampling 2 or 3 of them. And they don't want guys to demand it. Every single woman, no matter if it's your wife, it should be demanded. It needs to be demanded. You don't know what a woman is doing when she's not with you, especially if she isn't living under your roof, or if she lives under your roof, you don't know what she's doing at night sometimes. You could be asleep. Who knows? She can go to work. Who knows? So it says now offering paternity DNA testing. Tests can be performed in pregnancy or after delivery. So I see that they're pushing this new thing where you can give a woman a test and say, let's go to the doctor. You can test right now and make sure that if it is or not my baby before I stand with you and go through these months and go through these 9 months and spend all of this money. See, that's the headache. You spend all of that money over those months to happen to a guy, and then he found out he's not the father. No need to do that anymore because you can get the baby checked and tested to see if it's yours ahead of time.
And truthfully don't see why women get offended when a man asks for a DNA test, especially if y'all just sleeping around. He don't know who else you're sleeping with, so of course he got every right to want to know if the kid's really his or not. Even if you're in a relationship or a marriage, like, people step out of their relationship, people step out of their marriage. So I feel like when a man asks for a DNA test, it should just be a given. And the first thing y'all say is, oh, that's embarrassing, or you question my loyalty. No, what's embarrassing is your kids growing up and they're dating their cousin, they're dating their siblings.
Good point.
All because you told this man that it was his baby and you know it's not his baby. So I feel like DNA test should be mandatory, it should be given. Now I see how some of y'all get offended because of the way he approached you about the DNA test. Oh, the only reason why because my mama said she has suspicions or my sister said she heard things about you. I can see where you get offended because now you feel like he's not asking for himself. You feel like he's asking for others. But other than that, if a man asks you for a DNA test and you know you ain't stepped out, you know you ain't doing wrong, you know it's his baby, give him one.
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid. Look at you.
She thinks it's stupid because she's one of the women that wants a guy to say, this is your baby, and that's it. No more.
Tennessee is making a significant change with House Bill 2689, requiring paternity tests before signing birth certificates. This is a critical move, as studies show that around 1/3 of men tested may not actually be the biological father. By mandating these tests, the number of incorrect father identifications could grow. Moreover, the state is cracking down on maternity fraud, making it a punishable crime.
That's a good thing.
Oh, look at Daddy.
He's not my dad.
Really, Ava?
He's not. My dad's in jail and I miss him.
I don't know how guys can do that. Be a stepfather. I would have to leave that day. Seriously. I know the way that man felt. Don't deal with that.
Stop recording me.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
Stop.
Really?
Stop recording me.
Really? In front of the house?
Stop recording
Don't worry. I'm gonna unlock it. In front of the... Hide your face, bro. Hide your face. Really? In front of the house?
Bye.
In front of the house.
Okay, bye.
In front of the house.
Okay, bye.
She belongs to the street.
Bye.
The only day I wake up early. This is what you're doing out here?
Okay, bye.
6 a.m. in the morning, they out here in front of the house.
Bye.
In front of the house, bro.
Bye.
Can I have my shirt?
Bye.
You gotta... Bro. In front of the
Okay, bye. Bye.
Bro, how long you been talking to her, bro?
Just a couple weeks.
She didn't tell you about me? Bro, right?
Exactly why you need one.
I'm the father, I'll take care of her.
You are the father.
But I'm not the father.
You are the father.
I'm not her father.
Why during the pregnancy did you show up at the maternity shoot?
I showed up at the maternity shoot because she wouldn't leave me alone about it and kept
Because
arguing with me about it. So
You're
I
her
went
dad.
so she would stop causing stress
You're
in my
her
life.
dad. That's why I called you.
But I'm not
Dad.
I'm not her dad.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
In the case of 11-month-old Lila, Drew, you are not.
My wife has been cheating on me with this guy, apparently.
So she got locked out the car. He looked through the phone. Good man. Now he knows.
Currently, right now, there's a huge debate on whether or not paternity tests should be mandatory. A lot of women are against it, to no surprise whatsoever. A lot of them are saying that they would divorce their husband immediately if he asked them for a paternity test. And even some men are saying that it would be labeling their wife as a whore to ask for a paternity test. So I'm going to have to disagree with the women and the men on this that are against mandatory paternity tests, because as a woman, I'm never going to know what it feels like to question if the child is mine or not, with the exception of baby swaps in the hospitals. But how often does that happen? And also, as a woman, why wouldn't I want my child to then be swapped to ensure that that is my child after all, and then give that man peace of mind? This isn't about trust. This is just about peace of mind, because you know what? With the statistics that have come out and the data that has come out with how many women cheat in marriages and how many women cheat in general, if I was a man, I would want a paternity test for sure. In France, it's caused such a debacle that they have made it illegal. Doesn't that in itself speak volumes? I really don't see the issue with this becoming a mandatory thing for everyone to get, because then no woman would feel signaled out. It wouldn't be a personal decision. It would be just something that everyone gets. So it would give your husband peace of mind. It would give you peace of mind, because you know that your baby was not swapped at the hospital, and you wouldn't be questioning that trust aspect because everyone's doing it. So I really don't see the issue if this was a government mandate. However, if you guys still have an issue with that, then you know what? Why don't men just get the baby swabbed? I 100% think that every single man should swab their baby. I don't care if you have to do it behind her back. Swab that baby, because the risks are way too high these days. And if she's getting offended, that's a red flag, because personally, I would not care. I would not get offended. I would want the peace of mind for myself that the baby wasn't swapped at the hospital. And if I can give my husband peace of mind at the same time, why would I not do that? I have nothing to hide. If someone doesn't have anything to hide, they wouldn't care. You can be empathetic towards the male gender due to this issue that's going on with so many women tricking men into being fathers for babies that aren't theirs.
I like what she said, and she's right. And it should be mandatory because so many men are swapping, right? That should be the case. I remember I had a friend who had a kid that didn't look like him. Me and all my other friends told him swab that baby. He didn't want to do it because he felt like he had a son, and he was paying child support. He was way due. He was doing child support in arrears. Went to jail because of it. It was that bad. But he wanted to feel like that was his kid. Why? Every man should get a mandatory swab, and that should be the case.
He is the father. 72 hours. He has a tattoo
not
on his
the
private
father.
parts. He was the only
is
one
not
there. I
the
know
father. He is not the father.
Show
How
me a
many
tattoo.
times do I have to say that? No, I don't want to see a tattoo. All I want to see was these numbers to see what the probability was going to look like of him being the father. He is not the father. Now,
That was way too much, by the way.
You have a tattoo.
Excuse me. You know what? I don't even see why you all need to be having a conversation right now.
I agree.
Can we
you
do a
are not the
retest?
father, which means that you will not be placed on any type of child support or anything today. Now, you, Miss McKinney, you do have the right to petition someone else who you may think is the father.
There is no one else, Your Honor. It was him. He has a tattoo on his private part.
You can't make this shit up.
I was with him and the tattoo for 72 hours. I know what I felt. I know what I saw. Okay, it was him.
Well, there is a probability of something else, though.
Okay.
You were probably with somebody else, too, within that previous 72 hours.
Oh, Your Honor, you tried it.
There's no shade, just facts.
Oh, she was straight through her phone, getting drunk, passed out, getting with this one, getting with that one. Stop living that life, ladies. It catches up to you.
That's 30% of all men who go to actually get paternity tested turn out to not be the father. So out of every 100, 30 of those will not be the dad.
Yeah, that's sad. That's straight sad. But so many guys go through it.
My ex-boyfriend told me that, married or not, if I ever had his baby, that he would want a DNA test before he would accept that child as his own. When he told me that, I was like, what? It honestly pissed me off. We got into it. I was telling him how he made it seem like he didn't trust me and all these different things. And he was saying, no, that's not it. You don't understand because you're a woman and you would never have to question if that child is yours or not once you have it. Even if you trust someone, you could still have that small percentage of a chance that that child is truly not yours. And then he was saying how if it truly is my child, then what is the issue?
Word. Exactly. That's a smart man. Mandatory swab.
Is 99.9% not compatible. So you got pregnant around the time you were with me.
Are you crazy?
No, it's nothing to go back about. Who was you f***ing?
Yeah, messing with somebody else.
I don't even know how to start this video, and I've tried to start it about 10 times, but I think we should start by saying a massive thank you to everyone who commented or reached out to me about my video about the DNA test. I can now confirm that I did receive the results today, and oh my god, I think I'm gonna cry again.
The guy's not the father.
I'm just so I can't stop crying.
Being for the streets. And guys know this. You, no matter what, I think everybody watching this video right now knows you have to get that mandatory swab. Forget what's going on, whether have it to where it's mandatory in certain states and mandatory in this state and not mandatory in this state. It's the same thing with divorce. It's the same thing with everything. As men, we have to, no matter what, I'm going to get that swab to make sure it's not mine, or while she's pregnant, you get that new test they have women can take while they're pregnant to prove if you're the father or not. I think they can prove it like instantly. So get that done, guys. Be safe out here. Protect yourself. Guard your heart and guard your wallet, because that's the same way. That's the same method women use to get someone's money. When they're being reckless, it's really the same thing. Think about it. When women are being reckless and they hit 30, they say, oh, I need to be a good girl or act like a good girl to get myself a man. They do the same thing with this. Have baby with Tyrone, have a baby with Chad, or have a baby with Pookie, and blame it on you. And guys don't want to deal with that because they realize there's definitely more to life. They're going through that. Answer's coming.
Imagine where you will be, and it will be so. Hold the line. Stay with me.